Hey, Chris, thanks for coming. Awesome, we've got somebody in here finally. Hey, Beaker Daz, good to see you here today, my friend. Welcome back from your, I guess you went for a 400-mile round trip today. That is a hell of a trip, my friend. That is a hell of a trip. Thanks for the like, by the way, guys. Appreciate it. So yeah, I thought I'd try live streaming here. Hey, thanks, Yogev. Good to see you here, my friend. Oops. Yogev is in Israel, I believe. Oh, cool. We got 5 people in here already. Apparently, because this channel doesn't have 1,000 subscribers, like YouTube limits the amount of people this like live streams got recommended to, which is kind of weird. But hey, Claire, good to see you. Hope everything is all okay in the UK. Hey, Zoots, good to see you, my friend. Thanks for joining in today. Awesome. So I was going to talk about some stuff, but I can't really remember exactly what I wanted to talk about. By the way, at 5 p.m., so in about an hour and a half exactly, a new video is going to be streaming, premiering on Mycophilia. So go check it out if you guys want. It's Harvest and Chill episode 3. If you guys remember, a couple days ago, I told you guys in a live stream, I showed you guys actually like the truffle yield from a shoebox. And basically, this Harvest and Chill episode is going to be basically me harvesting that shoebox. So it's going to be like 25 minutes long. It's a long video, so it's kind of like ASMR. Just take it easy and just play it in the background or whatever. So I hope you guys will enjoy that. So yeah, basically I made a bunch of grains here, rye grains, and using the old soak and boil method. The old trusty soak and boil method. So I'm hopefully going to be inoculating these today. I've been busy, guys. I'm probably going to make another video today, at least film it. It's going to be some SAB work, which I don't like, but I'm hoping to get some Agar slurry footage for you guys so I can teach you guys how to make some Agar slurry. And the reason I want to make Agar slurry is because I got some poo cakes. I got some brand new poo cakes here that have been sitting here for almost a week now because I've been so busy that I haven't been able to get around to that. So many topics to cover, guys. So I'm hopefully going to be inoculating those babies later today. But I don't know. I'm kind of tired today. But every day, I wake up and I'm like, oh, it's the holidays. I'm going to take it easy. I'm just going to chill. But it always ends up with me working. So yeah. So anyways, if you guys want to talk about something, just let me know. And yeah. By the way, I've also got a question. Has anybody here used the company Pacific Substrates? Because they reached out to me yesterday. If you guys are listening, hi Pacific Substrates. I got your email. So I'm doing a little bit of research because, I really want to get it right. And from what I've seen, you guys seem, legit. You got your stuff together and awesome. Everything's good. I like your products. I like your branding and all that. But yeah, I'm just want to get some opinions because there's a lot of brands out there. Hey, DKC, good to see you, my friend. Lots of potatoes. Lots of potatoes around here. That's good. So we got a couple people in here now on the nightclub. I'm thinking of doing a lot of live streams on this channel eventually. Simply because, the more stuff that I post to Mycophilia, the more stuff that's liable to get strikes. And live streams are very, very long. It's hours long, so it's going to be a pain in the butt to edit, especially as they, start adding up. So I think the nightclub, I'm going to post them on the nightclub. And it's also a good way to get some new viewers on here and get the watch hours up on this channel as well. So that's what I'm thinking. Oh, nice. My ATL7 jars are booming, says Dabs. That's awesome. Gonna have to put to bulk tomorrow. Nice. So I guess you're gonna go for fruits primarily. This is some Starry Night apes that I've got here. And this was also made using the flush prep method, and it's just taking forever. This is from the 18th, though. It's doing a little bit better than my other batch of grains, but it is very, very slow. I got 6 jars, gonna do half and half. Nice. Be sure to hit the like, guys. That really helps get this video spread around. YouTube is trying to cripple me because I don't have 1,000 subscribers on this channel, so they're limiting the amount of people this video gets recommended to. So every little bit helps. I'm gonna put the bulk tomorrow, making bunches of plates and a few. Got another case of jars to scale up to. Nice. Yogev asks, so leaving behind the flash method? Yes, I am, Yogev. At least for now, because, well, at least if I'm going to try going back to the boil method, and if the boil method is like way faster, then that means that the cause of my issues are not the grains, it's the method of preparation. So if that's the case, then I'm going to go back to the boil method, which I want to say unfortunately, but really it's not, because I'm so like used to, I don't know. I've been having such slow colonization with the flash prep method now that I'm just thankful for anything that'll give me like, fully colonized jars in a reasonable amount of time, because it's going to take months at this pace. Months and months, like 4 months. It's that slow. Have you tried boil and dry without a soak? I think that's pretty much, that's close to what the flash prep method is, Zoots. Except instead of a boil, I boil water and then I put the grains in the water and let it soak for 20 minutes in boiling water with the lid on. So, I mean, there's like also different methods of flash prep. I've recently changed my method as well, but both of them I found to be pretty slow. Fermenting oats works good for me. Yeah, Beaker Dabs. I still haven't tried fermenting yet, but I don't know. Boiling worked really well for me too. I would get, like if I use clean syringes, and I inject a jar, then I would get full colonization in literally like 10 days. And I would see mycelium by day 2. Quality spores though, quality syringes. Not like the company or anything, but like, self-made stuff. Claire asks, you guys sound like complete pros. I'm just a beginner, but appreciate listening. Well, Claire, if you got any questions, just please hit us up. Everybody's always learning. Yeah, just any question, just hit me up and I'll be happy to answer it. Beaker Dabs, I had fully colonized jars in 3 weeks with fermenting with Agar. I don't know, with usually I could get like 2 weeks with just, regular jars and the double shake method. Like not even using liquid inoculant or anything like that. Always do, and you always help. Thanks, man. No problem, Claire. Anytime. That's some TBC right there. Actually, it's kind of sketchy to show you guys plates right now because I might accidentally dox myself. Oh, damn. I just single shook. Yeah. Yeah, I've been double shaking for a while now, this whole fall season, and it's been working pretty well. At least prior to starting the flash prep method, it's been working pretty well. Yeah, but what was it? There were some problems though as well with contamination. And there's just so much crap. I don't know what's going on. Just not having a good string of luck currently. It's like a lot of factors are just not working out in terms of the cultivation part, although the truffles are doing pretty well. Hey, Glass Biscuit, thank you for joining. Welcome to this mini live stream. Hope you're doing well, my friend. It is very, very rainy where I am at. It's funny, it was a very, very snowy, and everything was just like, you know, pristine snow. And then Christmas happened and it just started raining like crazy. Yep, that's right, DKC. Beaker Dabs, glad I decided to take everything out of my mica plates. My transfers look good now. Nice. Anybody here using erythritol? I've been hearing erythritol all over the place ever since that podcast. Hey, Dreamstones, good to see you, my friend. Always good to see you. Got some stones here for you. And I will be uploading the harvesting video of the truffles, the truffle shoebox, in a little less than 2 hours. In an hour and 20 minutes, I will be posting that on Mycophilia. So if you have time, be sure to check it out. Hey, Claire, Discord is awesome. It is a lot of fun. I didn't, you know, bother with Discord. I mean, I knew about it since at least 2016, but I just never really bothered. I just assumed it's like a voice chatting app, and I'm just like, eh. But then I started it, and it's like you could have threads and stuff. So like, there's an Agar thread, there's a fruiting thread, there's a general thread, there's a memes thread and stuff. Just a general place to hang out. So you could learn a lot of stuff there. Lots of helpful people. Awesome community we have here. Beaker Dad says it was in my mica plates, but I don't know if it was the erythritol or the mica, but I went back to MYA. Yeah, I think the yeast is one thing that, you know, even a minimalist such as myself may fudge around with soon, because I'm seeing a lot of good posts from you guys with the yeast. I'm just a very lazy man. I'm not lazy, but I'm also very lazy. Classy Biscuit, how do I clone or continue growing from the same strain? Okay, yes. How do I clone? Cloning is very simple. All you got to do is you got to take a truffle, or you got to take, basically you just got to take some mushroom tissue, some fungus tissue, and you put that usually on an agar plate. On an agar plate, and then it'll start growing out. Here, let me see if I got a clone plate somewhere. I got some dirty ones, I think, somewhere. That's not it. That's not. Oh, yeah. This is actually a clone plate. That's actually a little piece of truffle in both of those areas. And as you can see, well, maybe not see, basically, yeah, the mycelium will start growing out of the tissue. And basically, you just take a transfer from there. You don't want to use a clone plate because it could be contaminated. You want to take a transfer from there, put it on another plate, and then, you know, basically put it to grain. And it's really that simple. Yeah, in a nutshell. There's a lot more I could get into about that, and I've been meaning to make a cloning video. I used to have one on the old channel, but I want to sort of update it because it does get pretty complicated. It's to properly explain it, I don't feel too confident after a certain point. So, but up to that certain point, I think I could explain it decently well. So I'll be making a video sometime, but the bucket list is long of videos I need to make. Claire says, oh, wait a minute. Glassy biscuit, erythritol, that's like basically a sugar-free sugar substitute. A sugar substitute, that's what it is. Stuff they use in gum and other kinds of candies. Yeah, but apparently people are having good success with it. Claire says, I thought it was a way to play Fifi with mates. I didn't realize it was full of other communities aside from gaming. Yeah, exactly, right? That's how I learned of Discord. When I was like online gaming, I used to play World of Warcraft over, like 15 years ago or so, and we used to use Ventrilo. So I thought it was just like another Ventrilo. Let's see, Raul Duke. Oh, my heater's just turned on. Let me turn this. Okay, my space heater, I should say, because it's kind of cold. Raul Duke asks, can you put clone to grain instead of plate? Yes, actually, Raul Duke, you absolutely can, but I absolutely do not recommend it. In fact, one of the trusted cultivators on the Shroomery, that's how he does it. He's been doing it for years. He could use Agar and stuff. He just doesn't. He's just that good. But yeah, it's very risky though, because oftentimes, especially with mushrooms, it's easy to have contaminants, bacteria in clone tissue, unless you have your cloning process like really, really consistently and reliably on point where you get no contamination. Until you get to that point, I do not recommend it. I personally don't do it myself because my clones have bacteria often. TKC, you can't with oysters, dude. Yeah. Yeah, basically the bigger the stem, the easier it's going to be to take a clean clone tissue. Once you get to like grass lovers and poo lovers, it is really, really, really hard to clone. It gets so, so tough, and you will most likely have contaminations. So you just want to take a lot of samples, just assuming they're all going to get contams, but hopefully some of them will actually outrun the contams, and then you could take a sample from there. Dreamstone says, I haven't used erythritol. Azomite seemed to work very well. I possibly just had great genetics as I didn't do a side-by-side. 50 grams azomite to eat Corber and bucket TEK. Yeah, exactly. That's why it's hard, to like really pinpoint whether, unless you're working with like isolates or monocultures where you know that it's just the same strain. Because even like with one plate, I get completely different growth in the same conditions. If I put it to 2 jars or a couple of jars, every single one's going to have different phenotypes, different growth patterns. Some of them are going to pin so much faster than others. And most of us are working with clones rather than, single strains. Yeah, I just stick to core, I guess, generally. Sort of a purist, but if it's like worthwhile and it is really does have like significant differences, then I'll try it out. But Dreamstone says, I remember one of Hamilton Morris's shows down in Mexico. The mushrooms were growing near where sugarcane alcohol places were. Oh yeah, I remember that. Possibly something useful with sugars. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I think that was Zapatocorums, if I remember correctly. Cool, we got 13 of you guys here, but we only got 6 likes. Be sure to hit the like, guys, so we get more people in, and that means more questions. Beaker Dev says, I got albino stargazer in the mail today. Nice. Nice. All of a sudden, there seems to be tons of albino varieties. Before, it used to be a lot rarer to get albino mushrooms. What was it? I remember when they used to think that PF albino was going to be the only albino mutation ever. How times have changed. Hey, Uncle Stoner, good to see you here. Hope you're doing well. DKC, did you see the articles posted on CRISPR and gene editing of filamentous fungi? I saw you post the article, but I haven't read it in depth. I just read like a couple, like a little bit. But yeah, isn't it sort of like similar to what they're doing with yeast and growing, like, for example, psilocybin with yeast? It's just like a much cheaper process. Beaker Dabs, what's up, Uncle Stoner? Yeah. Chris Moore asks, while fruiting, can you extend fruiting? What do you mean by that? I mean, like additives to the substrate to replenish it or something like that? Sup, Uncle Stoner? Pretty much using fungi for the stuff it excretes. I guess how ours excretes psilocybin. Okay. So basically, like engineering different species of fungi to produce compounds that is not indigenous to it, kind of thing, I guess. What was it? I saw something. Oh, what was it? Oh, I can't remember. Oh. Useful compounds, yeah. Has anybody here used, has anybody here bought substrates or grains from a supplier? That's my question to you all. Dreamstone, got some tattoo, about to go to bulk. Ooh, what's tattoo? Is that like a variety? Cool, guys. Okay, so that's how you guys started. What brand did you guys use, and was it effective? I see. A blob from Tat. Dirtworm, hey Dirtworm, thanks for commenting. I have bought all-in-one grow bags and don't recommend. DIY with grains is so much better. Yeah, I agree. But I guess if you're a beginner, then it could be helpful to just start with grains. If you're willing to pay extra. As long as the grains are clean. Dreamstone says, according to Yoshi, it's a lot quicker than Enigma. I see. Oh, Uncle Stoner. I've gotten a lot of contams with Midwest grow kits, especially using their poo, horse poo. Yeah, yeah. Midwest grow kits. It's like they are a big force just because they've been in the game for long, but their products aren't really good, to be honest. I was trying to use Milo. I just picked up 200 pounds. Holy crap, Uncle Stoner. That is a lot. Fred, hey now, Sage. I hope those jars get going. I have not bought pre-made grains after my initial 3 all-in-one bags. 1 out of 3 worked well, but that was in my MSS days. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not talking about like all-in-ones, by the way, guys. I'm talking like, you know, pre-sterilized substrate and grain bags, but I see what you mean. Yeah, I'm not into all-in-ones at all. Thanks for your comment, Fred, and good to have you here. Dreamstones says, Michael Alchemy has sent me good substrates and grains as well. Awesome. Be sure to hit the like, guys. I want to try Forest Floor from Slightly Feral. About to harvest 2 tubs of Treasure Coast. Nice. Beaker Devs, round, round, get around. I get around, yeah, get around. That should be your theme song. Maybe make some clones of the Treasure Coast. Nice. Make some clonage. They send it in an extra large bag, so it's great for fruiting. Nice. Yeah. That's great. Yeah. Just mix some grains in there. Well, guys, I really don't have much else to say. I think that was pretty much talked about what I wanted to talk about. So yeah. Oh, Beaker Devs, Forest Floor is Slightly Feral substrate. It's made with peat moss instead of core. In the past, you know, before core was discovered as a good substrate alternative, you know, a little over 10 years ago, they used to use peat moss. Peat moss was, instead of core, you know, we used peat moss. So, yeah, that's just going back to old school ways. Sous vide, Dreamstone says sous vide. Not sure how to spell it, but that's what I want. Yep, just to hear a pot of water to precise it. Yeah, you just need to make sure you got a sous vide with like a temperature adjuster already built in. Yeah, that will make pasteurization a heck of a lot easier. Uncle Stoner, what projects you working on? Hey, Glassy Biscuit, see you later. Thanks for joining in. Uncle Stoner, what projects you working on? Basically the same as before. I got some poo cakes. I'm gonna do another poo cake run. I'm gonna make some, you know, mostly videos. Just really busy with videos and stuff. But I've been making a lot of grains, and I'm gonna be inoculating it hopefully soon with a different technique, changing from the flash prep method. So in a nutshell, that's sort of what's going on. I'm trying to fruit a lot of species. You know, inoculated like 9 jars with like different genetics. You know, I had so much lined up, and then they just don't grow, right? That is a big problem. So it's going to take months until I get fruits from these guys. So I'm just starting new guys. So I'm just starting over. The old ones are, you know, in the corner there. I'm going to let them colonize, but it's going to take forever. Old Zoot says, why use peat moss? Well, in my opinion, core is far superior because it's not nutritious. It's less bad for the environment, and you don't have to pasteurize it because it's not nutritious. So there's a reason people just went straight to core and not go back to peat moss. But that's as far as I understand it. I don't know why Slightly Feral uses it, but I didn't watch the podcast, so I haven't listened to his reasoning or anything. Maybe there's a piece of the puzzle that I'm missing, but people used to use peat moss in the past. Yeah. DKC says, I got a new air fryer over today. Has a sous vide and dehydrator feature. Didn't even know. Steal of a deal too. Nice. Nice, DKC. Dreamstones. Have you been successful fruiting stones? Yes, I have been very successful with stones. I was basically, I wanted to make it really easy to do it. So I call it Sage's Tamp Cake Tech, but really all it is just taking a BRF cake, inoculate it with a syringe with spores for grass lovers, and then I just put a Ziploc on here. Of course, put a casing layer on top, proper casing layer, and then I had tons of fruits. If you go to my Patreon page and you check out the banner on the Patreon, you'll see some of the fruits that I was getting. But then I took the same genetics and I put it to a shoebox, and it only fruited 6 fruits. They were completely healthy, but it just stopped fruiting after that. It just started producing stones like crazy. So I don't know what happened there. So hopefully on the Patreon, I'm once I get all the cube videos posted up on Patreon, then I'm gonna move on to the Tampas, because I have all that footage on a hard disk, and I'm gonna release it slowly until I get some new fruits. It's sort of my my insurance that I have stuff to post for my Patreons until I get around to fruiting new stuff. Beaker dabs, and you can use a sous vide when you're pouring. Oh, I thought you were gonna say for food, and you can use a sous vide when pouring agar to keep it. Yep, at the perfect temp while you pour others. Absolutely. DKC. There's also something else that was good for. What was it? Can't remember right now. Well, maybe there wasn't anything else. No, Dreamstones. That was an awesome question, because a lot of people, nobody's asked that before. People who watched this channel before knew about that, but man, it was like, I came back in fall. I was colonizing them and the BRF cakes for months because I had to leave. I had to go overseas for a couple of months for summer, and they were just stuck inside a suitcase, and it was just like, just crazy heat. And I came back, and then, those stones were super strong, and then I cased them, and then they started fruiting within like 4 days. It was beautiful. And I was like, yeah, we were at a great start, because while I was away for a couple of months, I couldn't post like fruiting content. So I had to keep the channel going. So that's where I started making like whiteboard videos and hiking videos and stuff, which were successful. And then when I came back, I was like, okay, time to go full force into different species. And then the strikes started coming on my channel. So I had to start over, and I was like, okay, I can't post fruits anymore. Yeah, but you know what? We are back stronger than ever. It's been a blessing blessing in disguise, because now I've reached out my tentacles more. I got some backup plans for when this BS happens again. I won't be starting at 0. Beaker Dabs, yeah, I read that. Hey Hank47, greetings from Germany. Hey, good to see you, my friend. Greetings from Canada, from cold, icy Canada, and rainy Canada currently. It's probably pretty cold in Germany too, I'm sure. Hank47, did you try Amanita muscaria? No, I have found Amanita muscarias everywhere. I have found Amanita pantherinas everywhere. Huge flushes. I just haven't, though. I researched a lot about it over a decade now. I've done tons of research on Amanitas. I just haven't got around to doing it. I think if I am going to do Amanitas, though, I think it would be awesome as a microdosing thing. I think they make awesome microdoses, at least from what I've read. Hey, Derek Sharp, good to see you, my friend. Validare, what is up, my friend? Fred says, I'm sure it's frustrating, but the break might be good as you dial in the changes. Yeah, absolutely, Fred. Everything is an opportunity is the way I'm seeing it. And it has been so far, and usually is. So, as they say, never let a good crisis go to waste. Thanks for your comment, man. Dreamstones says McMurden, like, yes, yes. I'll have to open up one of my bags soon. Exactly. These poo cakes, right, are inspired from McMurden. But basically, McMurden's pancakes, he does it in a shotgun fruiting chamber. And somebody was commenting earlier, maybe like a month ago, he was like saying, "Oh, you stop calling them poo cakes. These aren't your tech. This is McMurden's." And I told him, "Look, pancakes was actually not from McMurden. This recipe is actually from Waylit Jim on Mycotopia from 10 years before McMurden even made his tech. And, McMurden's tech is a derivative of Waylit Jim's tech. Even McMurden himself says that. So it's like, it's just the difference with this tech is I'm trying to fruit it with a Ziploc rather than inside a shotgun fruiting chamber because I dislike shotgun fruiting chambers. They're just big and bulky. But oh yeah, and also I'm trying to make up a Martha. I'm supposed to get on that as well. So it's just lots of stuff happening here. I'll get to that eventually. It might take a while, but I'll get that eventually. But yeah, McMurden, he's a G. He's a G for sure. Roland asks, why is it that when I test my liquid cultures on Agar, they all look fine, but when I inoculate grain with the liquid culture, I always get some bacterial contam. Not enough to inhibit growth, but it smells. I PC my oats for 2 hours. Do your oats work with the same sterilization method with just if you do like agar inoculations? Because if it works that way, then it's the liquid culture that's the problem. But it's always good to go more than 2 hours. It's fine to go 2.5 to 3 hours. Recently, I've upped my sterilization time in my Instapot from 2.5 to 3 hours. Not that there was any problems, but it doesn't hurt either. So, and yeah, but liquid culture, that's why liquid culture is risky. It is risky. There's hidden contams. You could shoot liquid culture once and not have contams, and you could shoot the same liquid culture another time and you could have contams. Or it could be something with the silicone that you're using, your injection port. That's why I don't like injection ports really, but sort of a necessity with liquid culture. What I recommend you do though is to get, I'm assuming you have like a proper liquid culture needle. What you can do is you could stick that into your liquid culture and then you inject you after you suck it up, right? Then you detach your syringe itself and leave the needle in there, right? Detach the needle and then put in another needle and then just use that needle for inoculations. What do you call it? Just wait a minute. Wait, I completely effed that up. Yeah, basically just stick another needle on there so that you don't have to keep going in and out into the thing. Actually, that's a completely different technique that I'm thinking about. But yeah, liquid culture, that's why I don't really mess around with liquid culture all too much. I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not trying to grow like huge amounts, basically. That's why I don't bother with it too much. Where are we? Try them. I don't know why I must make marketing for them. Hank 47. Try what? Oh, Amanita muscaria. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Hank, tell us about your experiences. Why do you like him? Let us know. DKC says, good question, Roland. They seem to do well when I spawn to bulk. Little sweet smell or something. Liquid culture, you don't have to put so much sugar in there as well. You could just do it with malt extract agar. I don't know why more people don't do that. I mean, it's clearly good enough for agar, right? And liquid culture is basically just liquidified agar. It's not supposed to be like a long-term storage solution or anything like that. It's just, enough nutrition to keep the mic alive and kicking while you use it to inoculate stuff. I'm all about simplicity. Old Zoots, why would you fruit BRF cakes without making a shotgun fruiting chamber? Well, that answered your question right there. So I don't have to make a shotgun fruiting chamber and mess around with perlite and cleaning up all the perlite and then having to contend with potential contaminants on growing on the perlite, and then you got to bleach clean the perlite out, once like every week or two. I'm just it's a big heavy thing full of rocks. Not a big fan. So that's basically why I like to fruit from jars. Just as, I think that's the natural progression of PF Tech. You know, because when Philosophy Fanaticus first started PF Tech, I'm gonna make a video on PF Tech on the Nightclub eventually to tell you guys the history about PF Tech. But you know, when PF Tech first started, it wasn't using brown rice flour. It was actually using rye grains mixed with vermiculite. And then it changed to brown rice flour eventually. And then, you know, first it was like a crazy, it was fruited inside terrariums, like reptile terrariums or like fish tanks, right? So, and then eventually came the innovation with the shotgun fruiting chamber, and that became the PF Tech until now. And I think over the last couple of years, I think, you know, Ziplocs are getting more popular. People are realizing, hey, you know what? You could just fruit with a Ziploc bag. So why do I need to build this big thing? So I think it's just a natural progression of the PF Tech. DKC, that's how I learned PF Tech Sage. What, in a terrarium? Oh man, that's old school, man. Derek Sharp says, have you ever considered experimenting with outdoor growing? Oh, yes, many times, Derek, many, many times. And every single year I tell myself, oh, I'm going to get into it. You know, I don't have a yard right now, but I could just get a pot and I could just, you know, put some wood mulch in there and try to do a little wood lover because I'm in the perfect environment for that, you know, like science, pan science in the Pacific Northwest. But I just never really got around to it. I guess I have enough on my plate so far, but it's one of those things that I've been meaning to do for many, many years now. And I really should get on that. Dreamstone says, I love BRF. It's an incredible tool, and I've had amazing success shredding into substrate and large. Absolutely, Dreamstones. Absolutely, me too. BRF, and especially like cakes, are so underrated. People think it's like a beginner thing, and I think people are now going into like broke boy tech and just going full on bulk. I've had some of my best yields shredding BRF cakes and spawning that to bulk. And also, it's just, I don't know, it's just like, for example, like just fruiting from the jar, it's a great way to get great clones, new genetics, because you just put a Ziploc on there. You don't have to do multi-spore monotubs. You don't have to do multi-spore shoe boxes. You just need a little jar and put it in a corner, put a Ziploc on there, and explore all types of phenotypes. You could inoculate like 12 jars, you know, and then you could have every single one is going to have different looking phenotypes coming out of it, and it's just saving time. And even as you know, somebody who's more advanced, there's much you can gain from, you know, fruiting BRF cakes or from BRF tech. It's just a highly overlooked thing. You know, people always want to go big. There's no reason to go big. You could do it and, you know, save a lot of space and just explore all sorts of phenotypes. So, you know, it's like, it's funny. But, you know, nowadays people don't even start with PF cakes now. People go straight to, like, Uncle Ben's has basically taken over the noob techs, but Uncle Ben is highly inferior to BRF cakes because at least with BRF cakes, you're a part of the whole process. You don't need to buy, you don't need to rely on any vendor or anything. You're a part of the process from 0 to 100. And I think that's really the valuable thing about PF techs, well, PF tech also, or at least BRF cakes. Wow, look at that rip. Yeah, you know, I think, and if you do it properly, then you're going to have a lot more success, consistent success using PF cakes. And also brown rice flour is actually the most nutritious of the grains. Way more, like, you know, it's just more expensive though. That's the only real reason that we don't use it all that much for bulk. Beaker Dab says, I flame my needle and ram it in hot to silicone. Can take the heat. Yeah, definitely. Where was I? Oh man, I missed a lot of questions, so I need to go back to that. That's weird. It's like some questions don't load until I scroll past them. Maybe it's just me, but I've had this happen a couple times. Actually, I answered all of them. What am I thinking? DKC, I did behind my shed way back, Derek. Roland says, yeah, the contam doesn't cause any problems, just smells nasty. It's weird, you know? I don't have smelly contams anymore. I have smelly, like, bacterial contams. I get like bacterial contams now, but they don't smell at all. Strange. Oh, but I've had some nasty smelling bacteria in the past. Oh, you open that tub and it smells like rotting cheese and yeast. Only the smells. Hank47 says, it is difficult to describe about the Amanita muscarius. I also love my cubes, but the last 2 years, Amanita is hunting and finding me. What I can say is it's cool to smoke also when you smoke weed. Yeah, I've heard of people smoking Amanitas as well. I'm guessing you just take the peel the skin so you don't get the spores, right? I've heard of that. Dreamstones, one little cake does a couple shoeboxes. Really? I used to use 3 to 4 cakes per shoebox. Unless you're using like dung substrates. I'm planning on going with my future poo cake experiment, poo lover experimentation. I'm thinking of a TEK, and I've been thinking it for a while, because if you guys know, I have problems with my poo right now. Not my personal poo, but like my batch of poo. And so I'm creating a workaround around that. So yeah, hopefully it goes well. Where was I? Hank47, I always bring my finished shoe boxes outside in the ground to give them new life. Yeah, that's a good practice, Hank. I make a lot of Uncle Ben's tech. Josh Group, what are your thoughts on wheat berries for grain spawn? Well, you know, as long as you know how to make your wheat berries good, you know, in terms of moisture content and cooking, you know, as long as it's not dirty or anything, then it's fine. It'll work. It's a cereal grain. You know, as I always say with grains, if it's available, if it's cheap, if it works, you know, then that's all you really need. I'm not a part of a grain cults or anything like that. Uncle Stoner. I'm all about simplicity here, you know. Uncle Stoner, I started straight to 66 quart tubs, sink or swim. Yeah. Yeah, nowadays, you know, people start, because there's so much more information now about doing bulk, that bulk has become the main thing, but in the past it wasn't. So, I mean, there's now so many options for bulk as well, like Uncle Ben's, or, you know, a lot more people are buying grain bags and things like that. Fred M asks, is your BRF video still available? Your mix and field capacity one? Sort of. I got the poo cake video up. The poo cake tech part one, where I make these poo cakes. It's basically that, except the ratio is a little different. So, you know, Fred, I've been meaning to make a video since the old channel about 0 to 100 for the absolute beginner, where I go through everywhere from creating your mix all the way to making clones, and things like that and beyond. But that's a lot of work, but that's something that's been, you know, just on the back burner for too long that I need to get to. But so many video ideas, you know, and I just need to do it. And oh, by the way, there's going to be a new video releasing in 20 minutes. So, sorry, 40 minutes on mycophilia, new harvest and chill episodes. So yeah, anyways, I'm very busy, but I will make one for sure. I will make one for sure. Have to. I want to bring back BRF cakes, you know? I want to bring back BRF cakes because of Uncle Ben's and all that stuff. I think people are relying more and more and more outside of themselves for the success of their grows. Funnily enough, in the past, beginners still had to do most of the process themselves, like all of it themselves, you know, make the substrate and everything, which is a little tougher, but I think it's a very valuable learning experience, and it's not that difficult, you know. So I want to get people to become self-sufficient like that, rather than buy Uncle Ben's bags and things like that. It'll make everybody better cultivators in the end. So I want to bring back BRF cakes. You know, people think PF cakes are like outdated, PF tech is outdated, which is sort of true. But shotgun fruiting chambers definitely are not outdated. They're still a great alternative to having like a Martha or some kind of greenhouse setup or some kind of automated tub setup, right? Like the JCM tub, if you guys know about it. But you just need to spray and mist yourself. So you could grow exotics in a shotgun fruiting chamber, you know, even if you're not doing PF cakes. DKC says, I've had plates that smells like that. I've never had smelly plates. I've had really bacterial, really nasty plates, but I guess I just never took a good whiff of them or something. Or I guess it's because I work in a SAB, so like the nasty smells are contained. Damn. Hank 37, exactly. Also own a pipe for it. Okay, cool. Yeah, I've done a bit of research on this stuff. Been curious to try. Josh Group, Sage talking about his poo problems. Yeah, what's new, right? What's new, Josh? It's more poo talk. Dreamstones, I use Roger Rabbit's BRF. 2 Verm, 1 brown rice flour, 1 water. PC 1 hour. Yep. That is classic. That is it. You know, that's the classic BRF recipe. That's the one that I use as well when I make regular old BRF cakes. For the truffle lovers, for the truffle producers though, so for the 1 part water, I actually use half part water and half part coffee. That's also Roger Waters' thing. He didn't do it with BRF cakes, but for his grain, he soaks it in a coffee water or half coffee water, if you remember. So that's what I do for truffle lovers. DKC says rye or die. Well, you know, I'm a rye racist. I'm a rye supremacist. So, no, just kidding. I just happen to always use rye. It's just a coincidence. Hank 47. I heard a few weeks ago that brown rice is the best for core lovers. I mean, for psilocybin. You know, I might get some flack for it, but I believe that is also true. Apparently, BRF cakes are the most nutritious for the space that they occupy. For the volume, they pack the most punch, like more than bulk. If you have good genetics that could take advantage of all the nutrients in here, you are supposed to get like better yields, weight for weight. I might be wrong though, but that's what it might be outdated, but that's what I remember learning. Let's see. Fred says, thanks, that would be good. I would like to try some BRF cakes. I have the materials. Yeah, absolutely. I need to make a video on that for sure. For sure. But then, like, you know, I talk about BRF cakes and I have to think about how am I going to outline the video? Am I going to make like a whiteboard tech to introduce all the processes? In which case I need to really, really plan everything out. I don't know. I overthink sometimes, but I guess I'll need to make a video espousing the positive benefits of BRF cakes first for the beginner and the experienced cultivator. Anyways, you're not worried about that. I'm just I'm worried about that. Roland says, I'm considering using a shotgun fruiting chamber with a humidifier on a timer to fruit pea cyans. Well, you know, Roland, I've heard of I know in the past there was a lot of things with modified shotgun fruiting chambers, but nowadays there's something called a JCM tub, I believe, JCM tub. You need to have a Shroomery account to see his posts, but basically, if you don't want to use a greenhouse, that is the go-to nowadays for small-scale tub fruiting of exotics like piscians, right? So you could grow like 2 trays in there. Basically, it's just like water, and you got like a fan on a timer, of course, and you've got like aquarium bubbler to sort of help with the evaporation or something in there, like a bubbler, basically for humidity, and also like an aquarium heater for heat. And you got some holes on top, and that's basically the gist of it. And then you have like a rack over the water where you place your plates. You place your, you know, whatever you're trying to fruit, your trays basically. So I would recommend that if you don't want to build a greenhouse. Dreamstones. Jordan Jacobs did Zapaticorum by just using a humidifier a couple times in a tub. Yeah, you don't even need to do humidifier in a tub with a Zapaticorum. You could do basically just in a regular monotub unautomated. People have done that. But those take forever to fruit, from what I hear. I really want to try Zaps though, but yeah, I got enough on my plate currently. I got some Mexicans here, and I got some Natals over there, and I got a bunch of Cubans. Beaker dabs. Yep. As kids, we made mud pies. Now, as adults, we make poo cakes. Yeah, that is exactly what we do. DKC says, speaking of which, I found a National Socialist mycologist on YouTube. Really? That's interesting. That's an interesting combination. You would think that there wouldn't be, but that is fascinating. I would like to see what it is. Send me a message on Discord. That sounds weird. Roland, some of my fattest fruits came from using brown rice. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It is underrated. TKC says not sage, obviously. Another channel. Oh, man. Hank47 says, I know what you mean. I will try it next year. Nice. TKC says exactly what I was thinking, Sage. So, wow, that was a nice little conversation there. But now I have caught up to the chat. Be sure to hit the like, guys, by the way, if you haven't. It helps get this video out, and that means more people, and that means more questions. I wish I had something prepared for times like this where I can talk about something. It's getting darker and darker here as well. But you know, it is getting brighter and brighter. So we are past the winter solstice, and we're getting more and more daylight as time goes on. DKC says, I have a secret. Dreamstone says, I got zaps almost to grain. Going to try wood chips in one tub and a core broom for the other. Yeah, usually grows I see with it is they have some wood chips in there. But you know what really scares me about wood chips is like I don't have confidence in pasteurizing wood chips, to be honest. It's just a kind of hard thing to pasteurize. So yeah, pasteurizing just opens up a whole world of a whole can of worms. Because depending on what kind of substrate you have, you know, it'll be more likely to contam without the right balance of substrate elements. For example, if you're going to use poo, it's good to have some straw in there because the microorganisms sort of balance each other out. And then wood is kind of hard to pasteurize because it's so thick, the cell walls. So I guess like a sous vide with a longer cook would be good. You know, it's just a lot of trial and error, I guess. And then depending on the batch, it's different. I've just been having really bad luck with pasteurizing recently with my poos, with my poo. So DKC's secret is that he is actually not a carrot. That's fucked up. That's not cool. I'm gonna go kill carrots now. Chop, chop. Actually, I got some carrot pickles. Pickled carrots. Oh, yes, we are in the Raw Nights. Interesting, I've never heard that. In German, Rauchnacht. I don't know how to pronounce that, so I probably butchered that. I definitely butchered that. But that's cool. Yeah. TKC says I did second guess myself, Fred. The days after winter solstice. Okay, those are my favorite days. Yeah, because I just know that it's just getting better and better and better. Oh, until 6th of January, okay. Huh. So what does it exactly mean? What is the significance of it? Why is it until January 6th? Okay, I'll search for it. Josh Group says, how can I find more info about the JCM fruiting tub? Very interested in trying some poo lovers again. Let me just take a screenshot of that. Okay, the raw night. I couldn't find one of the I believe it was called JCM Fruiting Tub. I'm gonna have to double check, but let me. I'm pretty sure it was a JCM tub. Just type in JCM tub shroomery. Or go in the Discord and tag me and ask me there, and I'll give you the link. You're gonna need to have a shroomery account for the TEK to access the TEK, or maybe I'll just take screenshots of it and I'll post it for you. Okay, somebody search up what the Rocknacht is, and tell me what the meaning is. Yeah, Josh, make sure you tag me as well, because I don't check Discord often, because I'm very busy currently. So if you tag me, then I'll get a notification and I'll let you know. Or you know what? I'm probably gonna post it on the Pans Corner section that's recently been added for like text. I'm gonna post that. I just got a notification of a new video, says Fred. Yeah, it is coming up soon. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, it's coming up soon. I thought it said live now, and I was like, wait, it's not supposed to be live now. It was this live stream that I got a notification for. Let's see. Derek Sharp says, God, my second flush is coming in so much better than the first. That's good. That's good. Sometimes that happens. Hank says, I am deep in the occult. Uh-oh, be careful. There's some doors that you'll never be able to close. DKC says, Mycophilia premiere in 30 minutes. Yeah, that's a long video, guys. It's a 26-minute long video. And just got a notice for your video. And you know, I wanted to put a bunch of music on that video, but basically I couldn't, because well, it's not interesting anyways. Basically some issue with the licensing currently, which I paid for, but there's some technical difficulties, so I can't put music on there, but you guys will see. Derek Sharp says the fuzzy feet is non-existent on these ones for some reason. Yeah, that's genetics. That is the funny thing about genetics. And I like magic. You know. I think paganism is very, very interesting, like German paganism. Lots of Pinealis Sanctilis and Liberty Caps that have been consumed, I believe. And there's also the aspect with the Pinealis Sanctilis with Norse mythology. Its link with the god Wotan. Hey, Fred, thanks for joining. Thank you for joining. Thank you for your comments and questions. That was a good discussion. Have a good dinner. Well, guys, I think I'm also going to head out now before the live stream. I'm going to get a drink. Should go to his JCM tub. Is there a link that I'm missing or something? But yeah. Oh, we got 16 people in here now. That's a new record. But yeah. Okay, so we got a new person here. Okay, I'm going to keep live streaming. Oh man, I wish I had a drink. My throat gets bare. Hey, thanks, Derek. Appreciate it, but I might actually be continuing here, it seems. So Matt, new on here, don't know what to expect. Yeah, you know, we just discuss, we just shoot the crap, you know, ask me anything or whatever. And hey, I got your post, Clueless. I will find it after this live stream later tonight. Hey, JC Cat, good to see you again. Welcome to the Nightclub stream. There's going to be a video posted on Mycophilia in a couple of minutes, so just to let everybody know. So go get a drink, fool. Yeah, Uncle Stoner. Yeah. You know what? That sounds like a good idea. I'm gonna get some plain old boring water. I will be right back. Wish I had some tea or something. Turn on the light a little bit. Gonna close the curtains. I am back. Let's see. Never mind, prank. Yeah, sorry, Derek. TKC, welcome, Matt. It's not hard to find me for a DM, Hank. Ooh, coffee sounds so good. I'm gonna get some. Yeah, I already had my second cup of coffee for the day, so no coffee for me, just boring water. Matt asks, what you got there? Wild bird seed? Nope. It's just plain old rye and some poo cakes, which is basically brown rice flour, vermiculite, and compost manure. Gonna be using this for poo lovers. So yeah, poo lovers, guys, it's I'm still working on the poo cake tech for those wondering. I'm gonna have to inoculate these guys with agar slurry. I made a bunch of poo cakes here. I'm supposed to do that today, but so you know, each time I'm making tweaks to the tech, right? So the last time that I did it, I actually got very, very nice primordia formation on one of them, even though it's the same genetics, same surface conditions, right? The genetics, it just, you know, was different, and it was just full of primordia, which is, you know, a great progression in the poo cake tech, but it ended up and it didn't fruit, right? It went to the stage of primordia and almost pins, but it didn't fruit. So what I'm going to be doing next time, I'm thinking it's the same problem as the first time. I think I over misted it, right? So I'm trying to find the perfect balance of just the right amount of water on the casing layer, and enough FAE just so it doesn't dry out, but not so much that it's going to get back, you know, contains. So what I did was yesterday I went out and bought an even like the biggest size Ziploc, like an extra large Ziploc. So I'm going to be trying it with that. So that's coming up next. And there's also something else, but I forgot. But yeah. Oh, also the last one, I didn't use enough poo. The last recipe, I didn't use enough poo. I completely made a mistake and effed it up. So this one, I put double the amount of poo. So hopefully that will help. Ted Gunderson says popcorn tech was easiest medium I've used, but not a ton of experience. Yeah, popcorn, you know, people have success with popcorn because it's clean. You know, it's for human consumption and it's easily accessible also. And there's less endospores than, I don't think there are endospores, are there, in popcorn? So easier to sterilize. That's why you can steam popcorn. Matt says oats are slowly becoming a corn so far. Yeah. Let's see. But you know, popcorn also has less nutrition and less inoculation points as well. Like the amount of nutrition in a quart of rye compared to a quart of popcorn, there's a ton more nutrition in a jar of rye. So that's also, and also a lot more inoculation points as well. So there's pros and cons to both. Beaker Dabs, White Russian is a coffee liquor. I don't have an actual person from Russia here who is white. I used to drink a lot of White Russian Beaker Dabs in the old days. I love that drink, but I don't drink anymore, so yeah. Dreamstone's been great chilling. Gotta go bedtime. Take care, everyone. Hey, Dreamstones, thanks for joining and thanks for all your awesome questions and comments that have fueled this live stream. Night, night. See you around. Derek says, also Sage, when letting my bag colonize, I did multi-shake method and it did make it go significantly faster. That's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, I stick to multi-shake now too. It's just worth it. TKC says, personally, I didn't like the surface area of popcorn. Yeah, that's it. Matt Leonard asks, poo / vermiculite / brown rice ratio. If you check out Sage's poo cake tech, I'll go through all of that, but actually I make a mistake on that. Fuck, I do make a mistake, but I do correct myself in editing. But basically, it's okay. So it really depends. You want to have 1 part brown rice flour, 1 part vermiculite rather than 2 parts vermiculite, 1 part water, and if you're using straight manure, 1 part manure is fine. But it's good to go 2 parts. I like to go 2 parts manure. So basically, instead of the 2 parts vermiculite, you take away 1 part and then you add in a bunch of poo. That's basically what you do. Derek says, it's just weird because for some reason, everyone who makes videos on this basically says 1 shake. Yeah, I guess, I wouldn't go more than 2 shakes. And I think 2 shakes is really, even then, it's not that necessary. It's not all that different in my experience. It is a little different, maybe a day or 2, I find. But I think it also really depends on how much inoculant you use in your jar. So if I use just a tiny agar wedge, then it will be beneficial to have 2 shakes. It would be quicker. But if I'm going to use like a bigger wedge, then it's not all that much difference, I don't think. But by the same, I don't know. It might be faster, for example, if you're using bags as well. People say that the reason people stick with 1 shake is because basically the mycelium has to recover and stuff. But that's true. It has to use more energy basically, and the recovery time takes longer. So you are adding a few days where it's not really colonizing as well. So that's why, if you add it all up, then it's not all that different. But depending on, again, how much inoculant you use and how much grains you have, it's different. There's a lot of factors basically. What was I going to say? I forgot. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Another benefit of multi-shaking grains is that, okay, so you shake it the first time, colonizes fine, it recovers fine. But then you shake it a second time and it doesn't recover fine. That means that there was a contam. So it gives you 2 chances to ensure that there's no contaminants. That's another benefit to it. So you could basically really, really ensure that you have clean spawn. But yeah, 1 shake is just, it's kind of old. But, there's pros and cons. As I said, okay, I'm repeating myself now, but like there's pros and cons in each. Beaker Dabs going to try drippy corn. Never tried it. Beaker Dabs. Hank 47, my wife is Russian. JC Cat says I'm poolless currently. Well, I wish I was, but I got a lot of poo in me right now that needs to get out. Ted Gunderson says popcorn spawned to straw. Cold water pasteurization yielded my largest fruits to date. Popcorn spawned to straw. Very nice, very nice. Anytime I tried a richer substrate, I got contaminated quick. Yeah, exactly. Well, you can't lime pasteurize, cold water pasteurize like poo and stuff like that, as far as I understand. It's that method is only used for straw. So if you try to pasteurize it with the same method as straw, then that will get you contaminated. DKC says, I want to see this drippy corn when you do dabs. Yeah, me too. Curious. Dabs is basically like doing all the experimentation that I'm too lazy to do, like yeast and erythritol and stuff. So I'm watching Beaker's progress. What'd you call it? Dabs is like the canary in the coal mine, I guess, or I don't know, some other idiom that I can't think of. Yeah. TKC, yeah. Hank47, good night, everybody. Hopefully I have time to join the next live. Thanks for coming, Hank, and thanks for your questions and your comments. Much appreciated, my friend. Have a great night. Beaker Dab says, if you shake it more than 3 times, you're playing with it. I'm guessing that's some kind of an innuendo. By the way, guys, if you guys only know me from the Nightclub, check out Mycophilia. That's my main channel. It's an awesome channel, so check it out. If I dare say so myself. Beaker, that's some funny stuff. Derek Sharp says, come this spring, I'm going to experiment with outdoor grows now to get my hands on poo. Cool, Derek. That's interesting. Spring outdoor grows. What are you going to be growing? Like, are you in a place that's sort of subtropical where you can grow, like poo lovers and stuff? Or are you thinking, I don't know, like ovioids or something? FAFO for the win. Premiere in 15 minutes on Mycophilia, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, you are correct, Beaker. Sorry, don't kill carrots. Yeah, gonna be premiere soon, so I guess I'm gonna keep this going until the premiere. Roland says, I can't wait to try my gnats that I harvested today. Congratulations, Roland. Congratulations. Oh. I need to grow my gnats. Derek Sharp says, not at all. I'm in a terrible state for growing in Kansas. Oh, yeah, I remember that. I remember you telling me that. The weather is quite unpredictable, but that's going to be the point. I just want to see what I can actually get to grow. Well, Derek, it might be worth getting a bunch of aged horse manure and making some liquid culture of some pansincts, because pansincts grow literally everywhere. Every single continent, every single place other than Antarctica. They grow in like Norway and stuff. So you could totally grow pansincts. Absolutely. That's your best bet, because they'll grow in places where cubies don't. So with pansincts, they're and the ones grown on horse manure are just as strong as cubies, and they look beautiful and they grow pretty big as well. Talking from personal experience, so they are going to be a fun grow to do. So that's my recommendation. Make a bunch of liquid culture and inoculate the crap out of a bunch of horse poo in the yard. You'll thank me later. Roland, I'm very interested in different species. Do indeed create different trips. Oh yeah, they do. Oh yeah, you will see. You will see. Josh Group says, what are your thoughts on mixing mushies for your experiences? For example, mixing cubies and stonies in a tea. I'm not for that personally, but at the same, well, that's not true. I was gonna say I haven't tried it, but I have tried it. I've mixed not pan cyans, but sill cyans, the wood lovers, with cubies many years ago, and so it could be good or it could not be good. But that's why I'm always just a species purist. Whatever species it is, I just like to have on its own to really experience the full flavor profile. Now, moving forward, there might be some good combinations between two species as we move along. That's an interesting topic that I should make a video on, but that's interesting, yeah. Because, maybe some species, like for example, pan species have natural serotonin in it, right? And then you take a species, let's say you take Cinctillus, which has a lot of serotonin, and then you take Sclerotia, like grass lovers, right? The truffles, not the fruits, but the truffles, because the theory is that the truffles will have more of the beta carbolines, which are the MAOIs, right? So the MAOIs and the serotonin naturally occurring in the pans should be very, very interesting. I think it would. I'm very curious to see that kind of thing. The thing is, I wish I'm a real tripper. I'm not, at least not these days. You know, I don't trip much, so I can't. I don't taste what I make nowadays. I know. I wish I did. I wish I did, but I just don't have the balls, man. Don't have the balls nowadays. Premiere in 15 minutes on Mycophilia, guys. Hey, if we get close to the, if we get closer to the live stream time, and I'm still streaming this, just let me know at the premiere time, because I'm going to lose track of time. Derek Sharp says, always wanted to find pan sync, so that's probably the best way to go about it. Yeah, absolutely. They're pretty easy to find in like places where, you know, like horse stables, like corrals, where they dump all the poo out. Usually they have like a compost pile, and there's just tons of them. Usually you could find them from like spring, starting from spring throughout the summer, and you know, if you're in a temperate place, then basically year round. They're the only species that grow year round. Well, obviously, unless it's like super snowy and stuff. Josh says, psilocybe cyans have a special place in my heart. First mushy I ever found. Yeah, definitely. Cyans are cool. What up, THC? I was in the wrong place or something. Good to have you here, my friend. Gonna be a premiere soon on Mycophilia in 9 minutes. Beaker Dabs, there's cows down the road. Can I put liquid culture in a backpack spray and hit the whole field? Yeah, absolutely. You know, but if you're not in the right environment for QBs, then that wouldn't they wouldn't really. Well, it's always worth a try. You know, maybe like in the dead of summer, it might be good to do it. Try it out. Roland, what? Where are your fruits going if you aren't tasting them? Yeah, boofing them. Just boof it. That's what I'm doing. I'm gonna make a. Oh man, how do I say this? You know how they make like a grain water agar? I'm gonna make boof water agar, and I'll sell it. It's some exotic designer agar plates. People will go crazy for it. Oh shit. Boof water agar, and then I'm gonna make reboofed water agar. There's some valuable micronutrients that came out of there. Matt Leonard says, dude, that would be awesome. Cultivate in the spray tank. Beaker dabs for microscopy use only. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah, boof water. Yes, Derek. Reboofed agar, reboofed water agar. And you know what? The reboof is actually somebody else taking my boof water and then they're boofing it. And then it's like, you know, it's like the human centipede for boof water. Boof water agar, just like the old way of doing Aberdeen. You know, I'm going to make a TEK called Boof water agar, and it's going to be perfect for your pancyans. Pancyans. I'm going to vomit. Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. I'm going to sell it, guys. 10% off with the code Mycophilia. I should make a channel called Coprophilia. I'm sure many of you would join that. BWA TEK, Boofwater Agar TEK. Yes, somebody please do it. Sadly, I'm sure someone will buy it. Hey, why sadly, DKC? Why sadly? Don't be hating against my Boofwater. full of nutritions. You know, scientists are going to be studying what kind of microbes live in there that's promoting such good growth. And you know what? The mushrooms that you're going to grow, the caps will have like my face on it. It's going to be like uncannily like human, and it's going to be disgusting and scary. You're going to be like, what the fuck? These mushrooms have like human faces on them. And they're going to have a faint whiff of shit. Okay, am I going too far? Maybe I'm going a bit too far. Josh Group says the bowel just absorbs it too, so you don't have to worry about it coming back out. Oh, gross. Like Mr. Garrison. Oh, I might have missed that episode, THC. You mean like Lemmy Winks? That's all I can think of. Lemmy Winks going up Mr. Garrison's bum bum. Oh, we got 5 minutes until live. How do we go from Boof Water Agar to Harvest and Chill ASMR? Beaker Dabs, have a great evening, everyone. Gonna make another drink and head to the other show. Thanks for showing up, Beaker Dabs. Thank you for coming, my friend. See you on Mycophilia. Lammy winks, lammy winks. Da 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 da. I forgot the lyrics. I forgot the lyrics. But lemmy winks, yeah. Mr. Garrison. Mr. Hat. Damn. But you know, if you think about it, like a coffee enema, you know, an enema with just a little bit of coffee, you get like lots of nitrogen in there, and you get some of the microorganisms from the colon, and that actually might be a good. That might be a good little test to see, you know, how it goes. Because I don't want to be tripping, you know, just to make some Boof Water Agar. So I think I'm gonna, maybe you can make like some coffee, coffee water Agar, coffee Boof Water Agar. Oh shit. Probably should head over to the Mycofile. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, guys, so thank you for joining into the live stream. I will hopefully see you guys over on Mycophilia for the premiere of Harvest and Chill episode 3. Just a warning, guys, it is 26 minutes long, so, you know, play it in the background and, you know, chill out. Just expect a long ride. So make sure it's the right thing growing in there before you boof it. Yeah, definitely. Got to make sure about that. OnlyFans coming soon. Love you all. All right, guys. Yep, Sage's OnlyFans. Okay. See you guys on Mycophilia. Thanks for coming out. Bye-bye. See you guys soon.